just so strong, and his stuff looked good. He laid it in and apologized later, which is what you got to do. We don't see enough of that today. Guys, a lot of guys are playing pity pack, uh, and they're stopping their movement on a blow before their arm or hand gets there, and it looks like shit. So, but that's business wide. And then I don't get the part about this. Conrad, you hit a guy 10 times, and you lay your big time punches generally with the right hand because most people are right handed. And then when they get a camera shot, which I would never go to right away unless there was evidence of assault, they go to the guy's face, and it's not red, it's not swollen, there's no bloody nose, there's no chipped teeth. QT Marshall says, "Thank God," and there you are. I don't get that. They expose themselves for that. That's like delivering established finishing holes should not be used as high spots. You see somebody really hit a solid, hard DDT, and somebody gets nailed and planted. That should be a finish. If you don't want to use it as a finish, then don't use it because it's sure as hell not a high spot or get the old proverbial 2 count. A lot of things in wrestling now need to be upgraded and managed a little bit differently, I think. And that's with everywhere I see. I watched a lot of indies, and hell, the other night I woke up and it was time for uh, Wow with David McLean. Have you ever watched that show?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's hilarious.
He's the man.
He is fucking hilarious. He's a play-by-play man. I've met him several times over the years. Nice man, nice guy. Uh, Maybe a little nerdy, but maybe not. Maybe he's richer than hell and he's doing good. But I watch a lot of wrestling, and people emulate what they see. If you're a talent, and some of what they're emulating isn't good. If you can't throw a good punch, I've heard this 1,000 times from guys that I respect. They're Hall of Fame guys. They're guys that are, they're retired. They're comfortable. They've made their money. They save their money. They've been smart all through the process. But my God, uh, I just some of the stuff I'm seeing is just doesn't make sense to me. And I might be wrong. I'm just telling you, I might be wrong because I understand that the talents are making more money for less work than they ever have than
That's
they
right.
ever have in the history of wrestling. So how bad really then how bad is it? Uh, I don't know. That's just a rhetorical question, but I maybe it's okay. Maybe it's fine. Maybe that's. I just think there'd be more money to spread around if they were more fundamentally sound and logical. Be logical. Try to be logical if you can.
Well, let's be logical about the Horsemen here. I've always, I mean, we all know what reverence that wrestling fans and the whole community have for the Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
But with the benefit of hindsight, Jim, why do you think that clicked so well? Like for years and years, there weren't cool heels. And you could argue that the Horsemen may have actually been the first cool heels. Now, I know they got a ton of heat and the NWO took it to a whole nother level. I mean, they were cool and WCW was kind of lame. At least the Horsemen were still cheaters and yada, yada, yada. But there were fans showing up dressed in suits and holding up four fingers. Why did the Four Horsemen presentation resonate with fans?
It's that intangible, Conrad. It's an intangible. They had great chemistry, and all of them got along to the a cooperative degree. They relied on each other. I mean, Tully and Arn became as good a tag team as I ever saw. You had Nate at the top of his game, and nobody could touch him. And there's good old Ole in the very beginning, uh, and he added to it. You can't hurt Ole Anderson's your last guy in the batting order, you're doing pretty damn good. And then you had JJ there uh, at ringside and doing promos and things. And so you look at those guys; they're all smart. They all could be bookers. Ole was a booker and an owner. Tully booked San Antonio. Uh, JJ helped book in several territories, and Aaron had the intelligence to do it. So did Nate, and Nate's did some booking. So I don't know. They just had natural chemistry. It's one of those odorless uh, situations that they always smell good. I guess they just are real good, and they got along pretty good. There's Nate was one of his first Rolexes, and but nonetheless, uh, I like this perfect group. You know, they got booked, and the booker got lucky because they worked like a champion. So and talents that watch them now, especially talents and tags, are just in matches. They'd be better off. I swear to God. I know that sounds too very old school, and I am old school because I believe in fundamentals. I believe that you can't spend more than you make type situation. At the end of the day, you've lost ground. And in pro wrestling, you lose ground too often, you're gone. You know, at least the bookers are smart enough, even though they book some shit, they're smart enough to know that if a guy doesn't get over, and I used to tell people this, Conrad, I never heard, I've had talents tell me that they'd never heard this before. We'll do all we can to get you over. We're going to feature you. You're going to be in main event spots. It's up to you to finish the deal. And if you don't get over, it's your fault. It's not my fault. And if you don't get over, we can't use you. They don't hear that. It's all hearts and flowers and rainbows and lollipops. Is that a song? I just sang. I don't know. Yeah, that's how I looked at it. They just it wasn't real. It wasn't real. You know, we've got as a human being, we all have certain human emotions. You know, we cry when we're sad. We get mad when we're offended. They're all common denominators. You're sad. Oh, I get it. I've been sad. I know how you feel. I'm mad as hell. I'm madder than a son of a bitch. And somebody told me a funny one. Uh, uh, it was like being a cat, a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Somebody's going to get pissed. So I can just see that in my head right now.